This is Rachel.Skweres. I'm an account executive here at 2020 Exhibits, and Gwen and I set this up because we have tools at our fingertips that I use every day on the back side of our projects, but on the collaboration side with clients, you guys actually have access to using some of these tools today, and then there's some enhanced options that you might find useful to your everyday and your event program. So Gwen will lead the ship, or she'll steer the ship mostly, but she is our technology partner for our event intelligence. So basically, I'm on the exhibit side as far as our projects and working with you guys, and as far as Gwen is on the team that develops the system that we use to communicate and collaborate and basically document it. And so a little bit, and Gwen will give you a little more detail of her qualifications because she's very qualified. But I'll let her kind of steer the ship and get things moving and get you guys introduced to what tools you have right now at your fingertips. So Gwen, take it away.
All right. Thanks, Rachel. Okay, so Gwen Hill here. I don't know if you guys have heard of the Certified Trade Show Marketer program through CTSM, through Exhibitor Live. They host it every year at the show, but they offer classes, and it's like a 2-year process. So if you haven't, I'd be more than happy to provide more info about that, but I am a certified trade show marketer. I'm also one of the mentors. So if you have heard about it and you need portfolio advisors or anything like that, feel free to contact me on that note as well. I'm also the VP of Business Development for a small technology company. So Exhibit Force supports 2020 Exhibits and all of their client accounts. And what we wanted to share today is, as Rachel said, a lot of the information that we already have that you guys can easily access. And as a follow-up to today's call, Rachel will send you a presentation as well as we're recording this. And also, if you wish, you can even get your login and passwords. So we can, again, follow up with all of that based on what I'm showing you today. So to begin, we've been developing technology for over 19 years. We have over 300,000 end users around the globe. So we have different systems for different types of companies. So as Rachel mentioned, the workflow from 2020 Exhibits is actually through our enterprise version. So everything from their project management, task, time tracking, CRM, literally all the way through to accounting features. So all of that is handled and streamlined. But what it helps the client end is being able to share information and collaborate. So a lot of times, companies are looking for, we get the phone call all the time. Where's my X, Y, and Z graphics that we did last year? Or where's the, what did we do last year? What did we send to these shows? What events did we do? Or how do we prepare better for next year? So a lot of companies work out of Excel spreadsheets and smart sheets and PowerPoints and Word documents and all these different ways and avenues, Outlook calendars. Basically what we've done is centralize this data. So that way the redundancy is a lot less. Literally you can create your events and take your projects and literally copy them year over year. There over to the far right is a little copy icon. You can also check the statuses. So again, if you have submitted a request into the 2020 team, they would be able to see that right here. If you need to submit a request, maybe you need to add some inventory to an event, you could. So this is where all of the projects that 2020 handles, it feeds into this database of information. Of course, for you as a client, this would be branded specifically for you. No one else would see that information. It's strictly your site. It's based on the login access, as I mentioned earlier. But what it allows you guys to do is to collaborate with 2020 and their team to make sure everybody's on the same page. You can also see here ship dates and event start and end dates and return. So information is readily at your fingertips. Over here to the left, you can actually hit a little plus sign to expand data. So you can work either horizontally or vertically. And then going into a specific event, I wanted to actually show you one that's fully populated.
Hello.
Hi, welcome to the party. This is Gwen, and we also have Rachel on with us.
Hi, how are you? I really do apologize. I'm currently in the emergency room. I had an allergic reaction.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Is it Sardinia?
Yeah. I took a Z-Pack.
You know what?
We are.
Oh my goodness, you're trouble. We are recording this, so what I can do is send you a link, and you can watch this at your leisure, or you can, if you're at a computer and you want to, I don't know if you're in the waiting room, but yeah, take care of that, and we'll send this over to you. How about that?
Okay, that would be perfect.
Great.
Awesome. We'll talk to you soon. You're good.
To call.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It totally slipped my mind, and then this morning when my mom came for me, I had like a really bad allergic reaction, so she brought me straight to the emergency room. So I was skimming through my emails to make sure I didn't skip anything, and I saw that we had a meeting today.
Okay. No, you're good. We'll talk to you soon. You take care of yourself.
Thank you so much.
All righty. Did we get someone else pop in? Yeah.
Hi, did someone else join?
Yeah, this is Mary.
Okay. Hi, Mary.
Hey.
This is Gwen. We also have Rachel. So we're recording this. We've already got some other folks already on, and we've already begun. So we'll just go ahead and keep moving. Thus far, I was just explaining the relationship and that we provide technology, whereas 2020 Exhibits are managing all of their projects and client projects and inventory and everything through our systems. But it's shared collaboration. So we are right now looking at a project. So if you would click the link that's in that notification, you'll be able to access my screen and see the info. Plus, as I mentioned, we're recording, so we'll be able to send this as a follow-up. Okay. So as I was saying, so you've got, this is basically a project work file. I'm opening up Exhibitor Live 2019. And as mentioned, you can hit the plus sign to see information down below. Or what I would like to do is go from tab to tab just to show you what's beneath all of that info. Basically, you've got project details. So this is basic project information, the event information. You could also have custom fields. So if for you, for example, if you are the ones having to track your events and everything, you might want to have a custom field capturing what social media you might use or the hashtags. Any type of information that you would like to capture and report from, you can do so. Rachel and her team would set these up for you, and they could be, drop down check boxes, text box, whatever you need, as far as options to choose from. So pretty easy. You've also got exhibitor information. You've got all the details, move-in, shipping details. If you have multiple shipments, it would even show that. What's another key is that, that tracking information. I always joke that, it's always on a Saturday when you're, at the grocery store when you get the phone call, or, you're out with your friends and you're like, where's this info? It's right there, so you can easily track down information. Usually if things are delivered into hotels, it's a matter of who signed for it. All that info can be posted right there as well. And then you've also got a list of what items were shipped in, and then any project files. So this is kind of the 30-foot view, if you will, of information. And Mary, if you don't mind, if you click into that, it might take a second to run, but that will allow you to see my screen. The next over
I'm actually on Jeff's screen, looking on with him, if that's okay.
Oh, you're good. No, I didn't know you were in. Perfect. Thank you.
All right.
And then you've got a scope of work. So this is nice because after Rachel has a meeting with any company, she can go back in to create the project and begin the scope of work. This here could be shared collaboration. So literally you can add comments to that. You can't, of course, change her scope. She can view your scope on that end. It would also send her a notification. So this makes it really easy to, again, collaborate. As Rachel said, hopefully everybody got their cup of coffee or cup of tea while listening to this webinar today, but it's all about collaboration. Next over is the inventory. What are we shipping? What are we sending into this project or event? The nice factor about this is if you have requested certain items, this is a great place to come through and say, oh, I forgot to add this, or hey, can you add that? Basically, it's a snapshot, again, to allow you guys to state what's actually on the shipment. And then if there's any adjustments made, it's quick and easy to do that. And then as Rachel and her team handle those updates, you are automatically seeing those updates being made. It's all in real time. It's in the cloud, so you can access while you're on your phone running from airport to airport, which I know a lot of us do. I just got back from Boston myself from a show. So, when those things are happening, again, all this information, you can access it from any device, anywhere, 24/7. Shipping, again, information as it's being fed into the system. So this is breaking it down by shipment. The other nice thing here is that when you're on the show floor, if you wish, you could even print your labels, inbound and outbound. So that way, as shipments are returned, again, you can print those, put those on your packages, just as an extra little thing for you. Next over is the members. So as Rachel and her team add to who is overseeing the projects from their internal teams, that's actually feeding from here. So that would say, who's the project members. Obviously, this list could get quite long if you've got the account executives, you've got, project managers and that sort. So again, that would be all specific to your account. Timeline. Now, this is really great. I have to say in today's world, a lot of companies talk about transparency and during, RFPs and requesting transparency with companies. But what if we said that, hey, we'll even share the task timeline with you? That's what this is. This literally says, here's all of the things taking place internally with the 2020 exhibits team. And then as those tasks are being, met, you can actually see the overall, completion dates, percentages of completion. It's just, again, a glimpse into what's actually taken place as part of the production timeline. Next over is task. And by the way, since we have such a small group, feel free to chime in if you have any questions or, want to know more about something, just let me know. Now the tasks from here are actually assigned from the 2020 team. Typically when there are tasks, there may be files related, like deadlines to approve graphic files. Within a task, you can actually add files, you can add messages as well to communicate and again, collaborate with each other. So that's very helpful. You can set deadlines. So that way, again, everybody's got this coming through. You do not have to log in to see this information. You don't even have to log in to respond to a task reminder. Again, you can respond right from your email and literally add the files and check, the status and all of that right from your emails, phones. So that makes it easy. And then files, if there were files associated with those tasks, you would also be able to find them here. So under the Files tab is where you can, again, share the quick facts. Great place to post your exhibitor kit. So that way, everybody has access to that right from the get-go. But also as Rachel and her team are, sending and sharing documentation, this is also being captured through the system. So if you to date have received anything from them as far as needing approval, you may have already seen the approval portal, but that actually allows you guys to capture anything that is, commented on, and as that process happens. Also, if you revise files, if they change any of these, you would also be able to see the version history as well. So the send history, everything, it's simply responding to an email, but it's all captured here through the system. So even archived files. So, again, thinking about, we're doing all of this for this event this year, but what you're really doing is preparing for next year's event when you come in and say, what did I do? What did we send? Who did, so that tends to help. And thanks for, I believe, is it Gardenia, for joining us. And then campaigns. So imagine if, do any of you on the call right now, do any of you survey your staff members post-show? I'm going to take that as a maybe, or everybody's on mute.
Yeah.
Everyone's on mute.
I'm brand new to the company, and Mary's new to her role too. So Matt may be able to tell you, but he's not able to be on the call right now.
Okay, well, that's okay. Well, you can tell him, say, hey, here's what we need to be doing. So basically, you can survey anyone. I swear when we first launched this, we surveyed everything. Like if you were coming to our holiday party, we would ask if you want beef or chicken, beer or wine, literally everything. But at the end of the day, what's important is that you can measure, are we in the right booth space size? Do we have enough staff members? Should we re-sign for this event next year? Those are, it's very important to, capture that information. And again, it could be surveying anyone. But at the end of the day, what's also important is all of this information you can then also see through, sorry, I don't have this one set up. I'll have to show you from another view, but you can actually see aggregate details and information. But at the end of the day, you can also score this info as well. So as people are responding and all they're doing is responding to an email, it can actually even drive a point system. So if you've ever used like, SurveyMonkey or anything of that nature, you can actually see that information as well there. So makes that real easy. So that's campaigns. You could even have multiple survey campaigns. So you could survey, maybe you did a presentation and you want to survey the audience. You could simply send them a link by email and they respond. That simple. And then again, aggregate data from all of this information you would also be able to see as well. Next over is strategy. I have to say this was one of my favorites because it is specific to your company. So Jeff and Mary, who just said they're fairly new to their companies, maybe these are things, information gathering. They're like, what should be our goals and objectives? What, maybe at previous companies you've, got some ideas, but obviously those could be unique to each. What's also important about this is once you set these up, you can actually determine the weight of the importance of them. So, developing consistent messaging, increasing the brand awareness, increasing traffic flow, generating press. You can have different subsets of that information. And again, this is something that Rachel and her team can also help and assist with. If you say, hey, we like that list, we want a copy of that, we can do that. It's really, really simple. But what's also important about this is when you come in and you determine, did we meet our goals and objectives, it will give you an overall score. So if you're not meeting all the marks, it literally, like I said, although subjective, it will still show you where you've been and how well you've done in those areas. Again, what's important is what you're gauging now and prep for next year. So, reports. There's numerous reports throughout the system. You've got HTML, PDF. You've also got Excel, and I'll show you some others towards the end, but you can download a lot of this info. Keeping with, this information, all the tabs that I've shown you up to this point are part of the program. We do have add-on info if you wish, and I won't spend much time on this, but if you want more data, we can definitely send that to you as a follow-up. Media station and the registration piece of this is, so the media station is lead capture. So if you take for a second and imagine if your show, you're on the show floor, you've got an iPad in your hand, and you want to swipe badges, you can do so. Or if you're at a show and badge scanning is not an option, you can simply click start. So you can either scan a badge if the show allows it, or you can just simply click start and type in some info. I'm going to just kind of marry some info here. And then what you can do, and of course this again all branded for your company, you can share brochures or videos. So this could be case studies. This could be whatever information you want to share that you would typically hand to someone. So rather than physically handing it to them, you can actually do it digitally. So you could then select different, product groups. You could have, about the company, again, whatever it is that you wish to share. Instead of doing that physically, you can now do that digitally. And you can also qualify them as well. So answering questions. So whatever you're asking today, again, if you can do so, this is an add-on feature, but it is related to the capturing the leads, any other contact and additional info. All of that information while it's happening on the show floor, you can see it back in the office. So if you are not the one physically on the show floor, you can see how many leads are being captured and all the information and qualification that's happening there. You can also see the click-through rate. So as those people are receiving the notifications, who's clicking through, and also what they're clicking through. So I call that the content trend. What is it usually people are looking at? And then the other fun fact is that when you are in the, booth, literally that person typically is like, oh, I just got your email. And here's all the fun, as they click through that, they can see that information. So that portion of it is lead capture. The next one over is registration. So if you have larger events where you're sending in quite a bit of staff, you can actually create your own microsites. You can have your own agenda, and it's a template. It doesn't, it's not as expensive, if you will, as some of the other type of registration companies out there. I know they cost quite a bit. This one is, a template. You can change it as you wish. You can ask whatever registration questions you want. And all that information, again, is all captured here. Download to Excel, share it with your housing bureau. That way, it makes that easy. So those two are the add-on features. If you want more info, we can definitely give you that. For those that joined us kind of late in the game, this is the collaboration tools. You can see all of your events. Another thing I would like to point out is that you can also filter and kind of structure these how your company is structured. So some of you might be by region. Some of you might be by division or business units or business segments. We can actually structure the system around how you are internally. So that way, when it comes time to, seeing the events by division, you can actually report on that type of information as well. A lot of folks love the fact that you have a live calendar. So, and again, based on that structure, you can also see that as well. And then this is truly a live calendar, so you can go right into those events or projects. Reporting, I mentioned, we have, report schedules, inventory, but one of the other things that I think is most important is we have report builder. So you can custom create your own reports. Excel, Word, rich text format, PDF, different templates you can create, and that way you can also track that as well. So we have some other little areas here, but one other area I wanted to take you back to is the events themselves. you can actually take that information, and you can also, I'm going to do full here, bring in all of the events, and over here to the far right, because I know a lot of folks are Excel driven, you can also then download to Excel. So imagine if your upper management comes and says, hey, I know Jeff and Mary are new to the team, but how many events are we doing per year? You've got your info. So quick and easy to download that information, plus you have the custom report builder as well. I know we are tight on time. Questions or feedback?
No, it looks very easy to use, so I think as far as like project tracking and approvals and stuff like that, it should make things go pretty smooth.
Absolutely. Okay. Anyone else?
Can you keep track of receipts on here?
Sure, you can add files. You can, absolutely. The whole goal is to, and that's what I highly recommend. We also have a different level that's a level above this that you can actually do full-blown budgets and expenses. So again, if we may host a kind of a follow-up to this call. We may host one at a later date that talks about the differences of the two, if you want to join that. Or if you want more info, we can send that to you as well. But yes, on the next level up, you can do everything from financial tracking, staffing, housing. There's just quite a bit more to it.
Okay, yeah, that would be very useful for me and my team.
Okay. Great. Okay, anyone else? Any other information or questions or feedback? Okay, well, I just want to personally thank everyone for their time today. And Rachel, thanks for for hosting this and inviting everyone. So.
Definitely. Thanks for recording it. And I guess just to let you guys know, I'm trying to use this more on the collaboration side. So whatever stage you are with me, if you are a client that's already done several events, I'm going to send you your login. And you can see that all of these they're going to populate right in there, so you can play with it. And then if you're kind of in the scope phase with me, I'm going to try to, if you're interested in using it for collaboration, I'll send you guys the login. We'll share the scope and like your goals, and then you can upload different files. So the exhibitor kit, if you have a storyboard, I've had some folks send me their Pinterest pages, or basically have a place for inspiration. So then we can take that and it'll be right in the system at the fingertips of my designer, who would be bringing your vision to life. So whatever stage you're at, there's a way to use this and kind of play with it, and hopefully the goal is to make our collaboration more enhanced and efficient, and to basically get you comfortable, confident that we're working for you, but also so that you have that information right at your hands. But you can always call me on my cell or email or office, and we'll take care of you. But this is a great opportunity for me to show you kind of behind the curtains what we're doing, and if any of this could be helpful to you, obviously want you to go ahead and take advantage of it. So thank you, Gwen. Thank you guys for taking the time today, and hopefully you treated yourself to a little coffee or afternoon pick-me-up. And if you want to just email me, or if you have any other follow-up questions, but I will go through the list and send out the recording as well as your login. So if you don't get that and you want it, follow up with me as well.
All right. Thanks, everyone. Have a good day.
All right. Thanks, Gwen. Thanks, Rachel.
Bye-bye.